कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा। वृंदावन में रास रचाए, मुरली की धुन पे सबको नचाए। कृष्णा कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा। गोवर्धन के धारी कृष्णा कृष्णा। मोर मुकुट सिरधारी कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा कृष्णा वो है 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा। वृंदावन में रास रचाए। कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा। गोवर्धन के धारी कृष्णा कृष्णा। मोर मुकुट सिरधारी कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा कृष्णा वो है कृष्णा कृष्णा।
Hello. 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 Yeah. Good evening. Namaskaram. Ellarko. Request you to please put your mobiles on silent. We are going to start the program. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow food enthusiasts, and connoisseurs of culture. A very warm welcome to this truly special occasion, the grand launch of a true gem, a book that promises to nourish not just our bodies, but our souls. Spices and Stories, Unraveling Tambram Cuisine by the talented duo Srimati Vijaya Chakravarthy and Srimati M.G. Padma. My name is Rashmi, and it's my immense pleasure to be your host for this evening as we embark on a delightful journey into the heart of Indian cuisine, steeped in tradition. As a fellow foodie myself, who has had the good fortune of living in 3 different countries, I have discovered culture through food. This book will bring back the nostalgia and eagerness of the recipes and the flavors that we associate each recipe with. As you settle in, let the anticipation begin for a journey through tastes and tales that have shaped generations. I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to each one of you for gracing us with your presence. Your enthusiasm and support truly make this event vibrant and memorable. Thank you for joining us. Now, to commence this auspicious evening, we seek blessing and set a harmonious tone with a beautiful invocation. Two talented singers, Kumari Sahana and Kumari Dhriti, who will now grace us with their melodious voices. May I now invite them on stage for the invocation song.
Ganamurte Venu Ganamurte Venu Ganamurte Shri Krishna 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 Venu Ganalola Tribhuvana Pala Pahi Ganamurte Shri Krishna Venu Ganalola Tribhuvana Pala Pahi Ganamurte Mani ni mani mani ni mani mani ni mani Shri Rukmini mani ni mani Shri Rukmini mani ni mani Shri Rukmini Manasa Pahara Mara Janaka Dubya Mani ni mani Shri Rukmini Manasa Pahara Mara Janaka Dubya Manasa Pahara Mara Janaka Dubya Manasa Pahara Mara Janaka Dubya Ganamurte Shri Krishna Venu Ganalola Tribhuvana Pala Pahi Ganamurte नवनीत चोर नंद सत्किशोर नरमित्र धीर नरसिंह शूर नवनीत चोर नंद सत्किशोर नरमित्र धीर नरसिंह शूर नवमेघ तेज नवमेघ तेज नवमेघ तेज नगज सहज नवमेघ तेज नगज सहज नवमेघ तेज नगज सहज नरकान्तक नाथ त्यागराज नवमेघ तेज नगज सहज नरकान्तक जनाथ त्यागराज नरकान्तक जनाथ त्यागराज नरकान्तक जनाथ त्यागराज गानमूर्ते श्री कृष्ण वेणुगानलोल त्रिभुवन पाल पाहि गानमूर्ते
Thank you, Sahana and Dhriti, for that truly enchanting and soulful invocation. Your voice has set the perfect tone for our evening. Sahana and Dhriti, daughters of Sri Ram and Sri Priya from the Pashal Krishna Kumar family, began their musical journey at the age of 5. They started and continue their training under the tutelage of Guru Srimati Vidushi Aruna Rajgopalan. May I call upon all the children that have contributed recipes to come to the front of the room of the. I'm just yeah. Request the following children to come to the front of the hall: Aditri, Ahalya Ajampur, Ahana Uday, Amala Uday, Atulya Malur, Janavi Arjun, Katyayani Mahurkar, Krishna Aingar, Narayana Aingar, Sahana, Shriya Parmekanti, Vikrant Ajampur, Vishnu Parmekanti. If the kids are not present, their grandmother or grandfather can come on their behalf to pick up. Okay. Now, following that beautiful beginning, we are now poised to witness another exquisite expression of devotion and artistry. It's our immense pleasure to present a devotional dance by the talented Kumari Katyayani Mahurkar. Katyayani, a very active girl, has devoted her energies consistently in various extracurricular activities, which include sailing, horse riding, Hindustani classical, photography, philately, etc. She has bagged prizes for her philatelic exhibits and has 3 award winning books to her credit. She loves nature, birds of prey intrigue her, but it's Kathak which brings her closest to the supreme. She is having amazing mentors, teachers, and genuine well wishers to whom she would always remain indebted. She is under the tutelage of Guru Sanjukta Vag since the last 6 years. She will be accompanied on the tabla by Mr. Dheeraj Kamble, vocals and Ichra Sachin More, Padant Katyayani Mahurkar, conceived and choreographed by Sanjukta Wagh, founder of the Beach School of Kathak in Mumbai.
पाद नमस्ते
धातिन ता निन ता निन ता धातिन तिन ता निन ता गंग 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 गणपति गजानन विघ्नेश्वर ज्ञानी दाता अष्टरूप गजवदन चतुर्भुज शुभारंभ करता वक्रतुंड सुंदर विशाल मस्तक सोहे मोहे जय गणेश लंबोदर एकदंत धाम जय गणेश लंबोदर एकदंत धाम जय गणेश लंबोदर एकदंत धाम धिंता धिंता धित्ता धा धिंता किढ़ता धित्ता धा धिंता किढ़ता किट धान धान धा किट धान धान धा किट धान धान धा 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 दिन दिन धा धिंता दिन दिन धा एक दो गांधा कत एक धाधा कट दो तीन धाधा कट चार धाधा कट पाँच धाधा कट छः धाधा कट सात धाधा कट आठ धाधा कट नौ धाधा दिन दिन धाधा दिन दिन दा कृष्ण सखा मिल गए ग्वालन घर हिरत फिरत घर देख लियो जब ग्वाल के कांधे चढ़ माखन उतार लियो और खाए लियो दत की मटकी झटकी पटकी और दूध को भी बिखेर दियो पकड़ लियो राधा ने जब तब ग्वाल बाल सब भाग गए दिखाए गए देख नारायण ताल बजा एक अचनल आगे तत थे 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 तत था ठीक ता तक ठीक ता था ठीक ता तक ठीक ता था ठीक ता तक ठीक था ठीक ता तक ठीक ता राधा था राधा था राधी था
मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो और भयो गयन के पाछे मधुबन मोहि पठायो चार प्रहर बंसी बन भटक्यो सांझ परे घर आयो मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैं बालक लिखा कहीं विध पायो। ग्वाल बाल सब पैर परे हैं, पर बस मुख लिपटायो। मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैया मोरी कसम तुरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो। ये ले अपनी लखुटी कमलिया, बहुत ही नाच नचायो। सूरदास तब भी हंसी यशोदा, ले उर कंठ लगायो। मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, सुन मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैं नहीं माखन खायो।
धादा किट धादा किट धा दी धा 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 धादा किट धादा किट धा दी धा।
What a captivating and profound performance. Thank you for that mesmerizing devotional dance. Your artistry has truly lifted our spirits. We would we would like to request all our dignitaries, Ms. Srimati Shobha Narayan, Mr. and Mrs. Ramdurai, to please come to the stage. About our guest of honor, Mrs. Shobha Narayan. She is the author of 6 books. As a journalist and columnist, she writes about travel, food, culture, nature, and relationships for national and international publications. She is the recipient of a James Beard Award and the 2025 Abbasse Prize for Poetry. Shobha is interested in Indian aesthetics and has researched its influence on jewelry, music, textiles, and scents. She founded and co-created 2 websites. Project Loom documents the weaving traditions of India, and Jewels of India documents India's jewelry history and motifs. As an avid bird watcher, Shobha also anchors the Bird podcast. Shobha has taught and lectured at universities in India and serves on the board of Neve Academy, Industry Foundation, and Natya Institute of Kathak and Choreography. She has a BA in psychology from Women's Christian College, Madras, a diploma in fine arts from Mount Holyoke College, a master's in fine arts from University of Memphis, and a MS from Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, which awarded her a Pulitzer Fellowship. And the next, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it.
Mrs. Mala Ramadurai is an educator and a trustee in several schools of Mumbai. And she's an amazing lady and a classical dancer. And she encourages art. And she's also associated with the challenged, differently able children at Worli in an organization called CASE. And she's my mentor and guide. Thank you. Yeah, you can carry on.
I was also part of the TCS and have been part of Maitri, which she had started in TCS. So, welcome and thank you for gracing the occasion. Should we call the kids now? Or should we do the kids? Okay.
Mrs. Mala Ramadura is a classical singer and she performs all over the world.
We would like to now felicitate the children who have contributed some of their recipes either through DIY posters or through videos. And you can access their videos through QR codes from the book. You don't believe me? Let me call out their names and you will see them right away. May I call upon all the children that have contributed to the recipes to please come on stage. I'll just repeat your names once again. Together. I know. Aditri, Ahalya Ajampur, Ahalya, there. Next, I call upon Ahana Uday, Amala Uday. Amala is 4 years old. We have Janavi Arjun, who is 10. And our very own dancer, Katyayani Mahurkar. And the brothers duo, Narayana and Krishna Iyengar. We have Sahana. Is Sahana here? Vikrant. Vikrant Ajampur. He's the youngest of the lot. We also have two kids who are currently in the US, Shriya and Vishnu Parmekanti, and Atulya Malur, who's also whose grandparents will be here to collect their prizes. Also Sahana and Dhriti. Please come to the stage. Stand. Okay.
Can I say a few words? She's going to sing.
Swami is going to delay. I've already spoken to her. So, Shobhan Narayan will make her.
Yeah. When we were writing the book, we had a lot of videos by the mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers. But the little children were so enthusiastic that some of them started crying, especially little Vikrant, saying, "We also want to make videos." And he made a lovely video with confidence and dexterity on lemon panakam. It's inside, I think, on the second or third page of the QR codes for the videos. You can look at it after the book launch. Thank you. We can ask them to go down.
Thank you, parents and children, for your enthusiasm in trying out these recipes. This will, in the future, of course, be useful to you and also create memories which will last a lifetime. May I please? Yeah. Thank you, children. Now, may I call upon our chief guest, Mrs. Shobha Narayan, to please say a few words.
Sahana, itno achkum poma kila.
Sarthi, Sarthi, where is the thing? Cordless mic.
I can just hold it and talk. I can just hold it and talk. No problem. Chair. Chair. So while I wait for the cordless mic, I want to answer a question that I've been asked ever since coming in. This is not a stitched sari. This is not a madisar. This is not a 9-yard sari. This is a 6-yard sari, and I have. This is how I wear it every day. I don't wear a petticoat anymore. I find this to be. I mean, you can tap dance. You can move around much faster. This is like wearing a panchakacham with like a dupatta on top. So I learned it from a lady in Delhi called Rita Kapoor Chishti, who wrote a book called Saris of India. And she came to Bangalore and did a workshop. Oh, Kek liya. Was everything I said so far audible? No, you want me to repeat? Okay. ஒண்ணுமே கேட்கல. சரி. எல்லாருக்கும் நமஸ்காரா. எல்லாருக்கும் நமஸ்காரம். The GR is not here, but my humble pranams to him and to this matha. My warmest good wishes and welcomes to Srimati Mala Ramadurai, whose music I have admired, and Sri Ramadurai, who are our guests of honor as well. Sri Ramadurai has conquered the world of business and now he's turning to the arts, so which is really nice. And my heartfelt congratulations to the author, Mrs. Srimati Vijaya and Srimati Padma. Um, I started by saying I wanted to answer a question I've been asked many times since entering this matha, which is that is this a madisar or is it a stitched sari? It is not. It is a 6-yard sari. It is worn like a panchakacham. You tie the knot, you do the kache, and then you put it like a dupatta. I have dispensed with wearing a petticoat. I find that the richness of our fabrics on our skin is so wonderful. I was taught this style by a lady in Delhi called Rita Kapoor Chishti. She has documented the 108 ways in which saris were worn by different castes and communities all over India, including Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. This particular style is from Andhra Pradesh. It is called Venkata Gundam. And this is how I dress every day. Now I don't wear the petticoat anymore and I feel much better for it. So with that out of the way, I'm so thrilled to be here and to launch this book, which is much needed. As a food writer, if you ask me, what are the trends that are taking over the cuisine world globally? There will be 3 or 4 things. One is plant-based cuisine. All the athletes, from cricketers to soccer players, everybody is switching to plant-based cuisines. The second is sustainability and climate change, being more gentle towards the earth. And the third is, in this era of fast food, there is a group of people that want to bring the rituals back into the act of eating community. All 3 exist in the Tamil Brahmin cuisine. All 3 exist in our culture and our traditions, and we have taken them. Oh, you know what? I'll just put a timer for 10 minutes. And then once I can stop. Yeah. So it started now. All 3 exist in our Tamil Brahmin cuisine, and all 3 are things we take for granted. I mean, we all talk about going to Noma in Copenhagen, which is rated number 1 in the world, and the chef goes out in the countryside and forages for local mushrooms and tubers. We've been doing all this, and we've been doing all this for generations. Except it is just so much a part of us that there is nobody to highlight it until now. And Prema Srinivasan's book, which is also a book on Sattvic vegetarian cuisine. I want to also give you a memory. I had this, and I think it will resonate to each one of you. It is about growing up or going to summer vacations in our grandparents' house. My grandparents lived in Coimbatore. So for me, every summer I went to my grandparents' house, I woke up at around 6:30. By that time, my grandmother would have had a bath and wore the iratundu or the wet towel around her head. She would wear certain clothes and come into the kitchen in a very, what we call, muddy way, which is certain things could be touched, certain things could not be touched. And then she would come in and light a lamp at a corner of the kitchen. The puja velakku had already been lit, but even the kitchen had a tiny lamp and she would light it. Only after that was the stove lit. Vegetables sourced, to use the cliche, local, regional, seasonal, whatever you call it. She would have gone to the bazaar and bargained with the vendor, got the freshest of vegetables. The food was simple. It was usually a rice, what we call in Karnataka a saru or a rasam, and then a couple of palyas or poriyals. This was it, served on a banana leaf and given to the crows before we all ate. And of course, It was offered as Nevedyam and received back as Prasada. And only after that we would all eat it. And then my grandfather would do his thing around the banana leaf. I don't know its name actually, I should find out. Huh? Pariseshana. And then he would take little food, keep it aside. So if this is not slow eating, ritualistic eating, and focusing on the sacred food, not just for yourself, but to also the people you love, then what is? You know, today cookbooks and I write for New York-based publications. All of them are talking about it, and I'm thinking this is what we all grew up with. So I feel that this is something that is our rightful heritage. We should be proud of it. We should claim it, reclaim it, and market it. The last bit is what is not happening. You know, there is a center founded in India called Indica. So the founder of it, who I know, he called me one day and said, you know, why don't you write a book on plant-based cuisine? I ended up writing a book called Food and Faith about prasadams, which is by which I traveled to different temples all over India. I missed the big temples of this particular community. I wish I had gone to Sri Rangam. I did not. I have tasted Akara Vadasal, but not at the temple. So I haven't yet been called to that temple. I've been to Madurai. I've been to the Meenakshi temple, but there is a Kovil little beyond it called the Alagar Kovil, where the prasadam is a adai or a vadai, and it's divine. So for us, food is sacred, food is sattvic, food is simple, food is linked to taste, but also tradition, and we seek from food not just nutrition. We want transcendence. We want to, connect with the divine. It is there in every act surrounding cooking in Tamil Brahmin homes. Of course, there isn't one Tamil Brahmin home. I am a Palakkad Iyer, and within my small Iyer community, there are arguments when people meet about which is better, whether it is Tanjavur or Kumbakonam. The Iyengar community has similar arguments, which is better, which Kanchipuram Idli is better, which Melkote is, which Puliyodare is better. This is part of the fun of growing up in a community like ours, which in spite of the fact that we use food as a way to reach God, as we do with all our activities, we still have arguments about food. So what defines Tamil Brahmin cuisine? I was thinking about this on the way here, and I think it is the three words I said earlier: taste, tradition, and transcendence. I don't know of any other cuisine that focuses outside India that focuses on the last word, transcendence. Taste, of course, global chefs, Bangalore chefs. You go to Lupa, you go to ITC, you go to the Oberoi. Chefs are obsessed with taste. But the kitchen, you walk into a kitchen as I have, everybody is swearing to each other. In New York, I was at a restaurant called Daniel. You go in and, insults are flying in French, swear words are used. I was thinking my grandmother would be horrified by this, because in our cooking traditions, it is not just the ingredients that are important. It is the temperament of the cook, the person who cooks, that is key. Which is why in the olden days, they would not eat just anywhere. They would eat at not just the food that they had analyzed, but the person who is cooking. That person had to be a sattvic nature. They would play bhajane or mantrams in the background, essentially saying food is energy. And this is now being rediscovered. Now the energy of food is being rediscovered, and people talk about it. This again being new. The traditions are many actually, and whether you go to Ambalapura and have the palpayasam, and that palpayasam Murali is he turns it. And one of the most touching things that I saw in Kerala in this Ambalapura temple was they do this every day. They make tons of this palpayasam on the Urali, but after it is done, the person, the Tirmeni, goes out to the temple tank and he says, Vasudeva. And he says it like he thinks Vasudeva will come and taste his food. It is this bhavana or bhavane, which the imagination that all poetry talks about, all creativity is based on, is rooted in our cooking. So when we offer it to the crow, we don't think, oh, the kaka is eating it. We think, oh, it's going to my ancestors and they are going to bless me. So this, my mother is a Sri Vidya Upasaka. She's a goddess worshipper. So I asked her, what is the two things or three things that is necessary for transcendence? And she said Sharanagati and Bhavane. Bhavane is the belief that this idol, the photo of this lovely couple sitting here is actually looking at the gathering, enjoying this occasion and blessing the authors of this book. That is Bhavane. Sharanagati is a very personal and long path, so I don't have anything to say on that topic. So it's I have 2 more minutes. I want to end by talking about the specific things in this book. I was in Kumbakonam, and one of the things that was told to me, and this is a provocation, the Kovil priest Pujari said, நீங்களாம் சாம்பார் சாம்பார் சொல்றேலே சாம்பார் எல்லாம் தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்தே கிடையாது. நம்மெல்லாம் வந்து பொரிச்ச குழம்பு தான் பண்ணுவோம். சாம்பார் is a Maharashtrian import by, then he told me the tale of the Sarfoji, the Sambaji and all that. I researched it like any good journalist. Shanteri is sitting here. But it is not, it is not definitive. Yes, there is one strand that says the sambar the Tamilians hold dear is in fact a Maharashtrian import, but that is not definitive. So I'm still, that is a question mark. If any of you have answers on that question, do we own the sambar? Please let me know. The other provocation I want to tell you is the party vaidyam that is there in this book that we all grew up with. When edavadu aachinaka, you will get one kashayam, you will get one decoction, langanam parama aushadam, peshama patni pode, and then it'll be all right. These are these sayings that we grew up with, the party vaidyam that we grew up with, and now slowly there's a university here in Bangalore outside called TDU, Transcendental TDU. They are researching Ayurvedic plants and discovering that all the things that we did or we imbibed as children, including that horrific velakannai that my mother claims that she drank once a month. The castor oil vaidyam is supposedly to be excellent for now what we call gut bacteria. Everybody is talking about gut bacteria, and it is very good. So the last thing I want to tell you is how Tamilians have taken seasonal eating to a high level. You know, intermittent fasting nu cholra. நம்மெல்லாம் ஏகாதசியில வந்து ஃபாஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு next day dwadashila on a certain time you eat agathikkirai, all of which will reduce and remove your toxins. This has all been done. So the message I want to leave all of us with, and I am also a seeker. I am not, I don't have solutions. I'm a seeker. Okay, so 10 minutes are done. I will stop. The message I want to leave you all with is that how do we reclaim what is ours as a part of our identity when we are all global citizens now? I am a Tamil Brahmin, but I also traverse many worlds like all of you. It was easier for my grandmother, who only wore a sari when she went to America. When I go to America, I change my attire. So identity is part of this book. Identity, who you are, how, what you wear, do you wear the bindi or not? Do you wear options? So many choices are open to my generation and all of you. The problem with choice is there is something that you lose when you make that choice. So identity is something that I am thinking about, is who are you? Which part of Tamil Brahminism do you claim? I think food is a very LCM, as they say in maths, lowest common denominator. Let's just start there. Let's just start in the privacy of our kitchens to be the Tamil Brahmins that we are. And then you won't, no political statements need to be made in the privacy of your homes, reclaim the food that is yours by your birthright. So I want to congratulate the authors for writing this book and helping us reclaim the Tamil Brahmin birthright that is ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Srimati Narayan. That was a very anecdotal way, talk about your right from your sari to the cultures to the traditions that you had experienced in your childhood. Very thought provoking. Thank you very much. Next, we have a singer in our midst. Srimati Shashireka Suresh will be singing a devotional song, Jai Jaya He Bhagavati Shubharati. She is an ex-botany professor of Bhavans, Mumbai. She is Dr. Shashireka Suresh. Kumar. Dr. Shashireka Suresh Kumar. Thank you.
I speak from here itself. You can speak here. You want the foldable in the middle. Namaskaram. Um, as she has already announced, I am proudly telling that I am a Tamil Brahmin. I'm Dr. Shashireka Suresh Kumar Iyer. So Iyer I don't put because my husband knocked it off after marriage. So because of the length of the name, my name was already big, and then the Iyer was adding to the line. It was going on the second line, so he had to remove it. No, that's just for the fun part of it. But I'm still an Iyer and always will be an Iyer, and I'm very impressed by the way. Mrs. Shobha Narayan spoke, and truly to say, my mummy has trained me like that. But unfortunately, I'm not able to follow all what she's done because in the career line, when we go into the career, we get drowned and we drift apart from the cultural thing. But I've still maintained not doing as much as she used to do. The pujas and every day, daily, she used to do puja with all that Eera Pudavai and all that, everything. She used to do it very systematically. I'm not able to do that. I'm sorry to say. But then, because of the timings of the services, we are not able to follow the same thing in cities. So it's not an excuse. We can still do it. I now maybe after retire, I have already retired, so maybe now also I find it difficult to follow it. But then I make it a point to mention it, and certain major festivals I do celebrate in the same way as my mummy used to do, and so that my sons, I have two sons, they are exposed to these traditional practices, and they are also exposed to the traditional prasadams that we make. So I don't miss out on that. So that's how. When I was young, I mean, during the school days, I was trained in Carnatic music also. But still, after the service, Madam is expert in Carnatic Sangeet. I was told. Hindustani. Whatever classical music. Music is universal. I'm not so perfect, but then I'll just perform a small song on Devi. It just goes. Before that, I just wanted to make one small correction. A friend announced that I was teaching in Bhavans College. I was teaching in Bhavans College only for 2 years, but major part of my career I have done in Mithibai College. That's in Mumbai, and I retired as a head of Department of Botany. Okay, and then I'm a PhD guide also. I'm still guiding as a research advisor in Vanaushadhi in Keshav Srishti in Mumbai. Okay. Now coming to the song, it's a small song. Please, if I make mistakes, pardon me. जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। नाद ब्रह्ममयी जय वागेश्वरी नाद ब्रह्ममयी जय वागेश्वरी शरणं ते गच्छामः। जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। त्वमसि शरण्या त्रिभुवनधन्या सुरमुनिवन्दितचरणा। त्वमसि शरण्या त्रिभुवनधन्या सुरमुनिवन्दितचरणा। नवरस मधुरा कविता मुखरा नवरस मधुरा कविता मुखरा भरणा। जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। आसीना भव मानसहंसे कुन्दतुहिन शशिधवळे। आसीना भव मानसहंसे कुन्दतुहिन शशिधवळे। हरि जडतां कुरु बोधिविलासं हरि जडतां कुरु बोधिविलासं श्रितपङ्कजतनु विमले। जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। नाद ब्रह्ममयी जय वागेश्वरी शरणं ते गच्छामः। जय जय हे भगवती सुरभारती भव शरणं प्रणमामः। प्रणमामः प्रणमामः। Thank you. I'm sorry for the mistake. I should thank Dr. Vijaya Chakravarthy. She's a good friend of mine. We are associated together in Friends of Trees back in Mumbai. And that's how we are more closer now, being a botanist and she being what she is. And we got connected on the Tambram cuisines. So that's how I'm here. I just arrived today and I was not knowing I was supposed to do anything here. I just came as a guest, as her guest. And it's my privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srimati Iyer, for your lovely rendition of the devotional song. Now I call upon all the chief guests to kindly come back on stage to conduct the lighting of the lamp. I also call upon Srimati Yashoda to join in. We have already introduced Srimati Narayan, and Srimati Ramdore. Mr. Ramdore doesn't need any introduction, but nevertheless, he's a Padma Bhushan awardee and ex-chairman of TCS for close to a decade. Currently, he's involved in many CSR and other skill building activities for India's youth. We have here on the stage a senior Mrs. Vedvali Iyengar. At the age of 96, she embodies wisdom, tradition, and quiet strength. She began her culinary journey under the guidance of her Atte Yadugiri shortly after her marriage at the age of 16. Interestingly, she didn't enter her full fledged role in the kitchen for a few years, albeit starting by chopping vegetables, grating, and catering to a large joint family of 40 members. Her true culinary chapter began after the birth of her daughter Padma, who is herself an accomplished cook. After moving to Mumbai, Vedvali Mami shared her kitchen with her sister-in-law, continuing her passion and refining her skills. Her precision in the kitchen is legendary. Even modern machines would fall short of matching her speed and finesse in chopping vegetables. What sets her apart is not just efficiency but care. Tender greens are cleaned, stems are sorted, some for chutney, others for the pot, ensuring zero waste and total respect for food. She stands as a quiet pillar behind a generation of cooks and caretakers, passing on not just recipes, but values of sustainability, discipline, and love. She represents more than a legacy of recipes. She is the embodiment of sustainable cooking, mindful living, and intergenerational wisdom. Her story reminds us that the soul of cuisine lies not only in the dishes prepared, but in the love, labor, and legacy behind them. Today, we celebrate her not just for what she has cooked, but for the values she has nourished in all of us. She is the mother of one of the authors, M.G. Padma.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म
May I call upon Mr. Ramdurai, Mrs. Ramdurai, to please say a few words?
Hello. Can you all hear me? No, it's a very memorable and an important evening in terms of the topic and the contents and the book itself, which is very apt and appropriate. I think what Srimati Shobha Narayan said with regard to the memories of when we grew up in a joint family with grandfather, grandmother, uncles, aunts. Food was one of the most important item on the agenda, and we used to love it as children. Every holiday used to be together, or even if we were in the same city, to meeting very regularly was a way of life. And whether you were having a feast or a sickness related diet or a food, all these things which are listed there come to our memory very clearly. I think one of the situations I wanted to narrate just as an example of how we must preserve not only the way to cook the various items. We were I'm talking about 1982, when we went to Singapore to meet with the government officials. Out of the 5 people, I was from Tamil speaking. One of my colleagues was Maharashtrian, Marathi speaking. The third person was from Karnataka, Kannada speaking. And our mentor and boss was a Punjabi. So we went to Komala Vilas, which all of you must know, in Singapore. And they serve very authentically on a banana leaf. My boss from Punjab, he couldn't understand, and he asked for a fork and a spoon to eat on a banana leaf. Lo and behold, the restaurant was kind enough to give him, but when the rasam was poured, the rasam went below the banana leaf. Immediately, the neighbor, the other table, came rushing to us and then said, "For God's sake, don't eat with a fork and a spoon in a banana leaf. It's important to preserve the culture, and you must eat with your hand like the other colleagues of yours are eating." So my boss did not eat, and then after the food was eaten by all of us, we went into a Chinese restaurant where he could get some fish. It was very humorous, but then it was a very humbling experience to say that not only do you cook the way it is supposed to be, but you also eat the way it is supposed to be eaten, rather than try out the modern things on a banana leaf. I think the other things, I learned quite a bit in helping my grandmother, mother, or whatever it is, whether to grind the atta or you were never allowed to taste those days, because the Naivedyam which was spoken about was extremely important, the food that was cooked with a muddy, and then you were supposed to touch it or eat it only after the Naivedyam was done, and the Paraseshanam was done if you had your Upanayanam, which we all had it at the age of 8 or 9 or whatever it is. I think when you get married and your wife is a great cook and you have been married for 52 years, rarely you go to the kitchen other than to taste or to do the Naivedyam as we spoke about. So, we do enjoy the good food and make sure that it is done the right way. And there were no recipes at that time, it was purely by knowledge transfer through the vocal medium rather than any written. till we had this book called Samaytu Par, which was originally in Tamil, where it had all the recipes. Meenakshi Ammal had done that very clearly and very effectively. I think the only time the English translation came when the migration started to different parts of the world, and there was a festival function, how to make some of the sweets for that specific event, whether it is a Shakar Pongal, Korkattai, Adai, whatever it is, all these were learned through that. But we learned how to help the grandmother, mothers in the kitchen, and more importantly, cherish those very, very effectively. In a little humorous side, the one event I'm talking about when we were in school, those days NCC was compulsory. We went on a picnic. The only vessel that was given was aluminium mug and aluminium plate, which was essentially warped in all directions. It couldn't sit, it couldn't be kept. But at the end of the day, we had to cook and eat in the same plate and the same mug. That was the last time I ever went and cooked anything. After that, I gave up cooking for sure, but more importantly, enjoy the food that is prepared and the way it is to be done traditionally. But then the knowledge transfer and capturing what it meant is absolutely important. And when you look at the recipes here, it reminds you of every single dish which I had, whether it is the kashayam, whether it is the morkorambu, except that when you spell in English, the morkorambu becomes something else. It becomes kolambu. So we have to get back to the way we pronounce these things also. But let me wish all of you the very best. It's an absolute thoughtfully done and a timely work. It has attempted to preserve the very human side of Tam Bram cuisine, the memories, the rituals, the relationships, the quiet wisdom that is passed across generations. Books like this remind us to keep the old stories and knowledge alive. Vijaya, Padma, congratulations on this lovely, thoughtful book. And I hope many people will cook from it, talk about it, and smile over it, and agree how Tair Sadam might be the most reliable comfort food ever invented in the history of mankind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ramdare. I'm sure that with your words that affirm the same points about tradition, culture, and memories, we will continue. And now I request all the chief guests to launch the book, to start with the launching of the book. Every truly remarkable book is a testament to passion, dedication, and a deep understanding of its subject. Spices and stories transcend the conventional cookbook. It is, in essence, a culinary memoir, a vibrant collection that recognizes that every spice, every ingredient, every recipe holds a story, a history, a memory, a moment in time. Our authors, Srimati Vijaya and Srimati Padma, are not merely purveyors of recipes, they are cultural custodians and eloquent storytellers. They understand that food is intrinsically linked to our identity, our heritage, and the bonds that we share. Through spices and stories, they invite us into their homes, their kitchens, and indeed their very lives, sharing not just how to cook and the beautiful narratives that emerge around the dining table. Prepare to be enchanted by the dishes that carry the whisper of a grandmother's wisdom and by stories that reveal the soul of Indian cooking. This book is a celebration of both the tangible and the intangible essence of our cultural tradition. Now, the book is available at the red table, at the pink tablecloth table at the inaugural prize. Kindly take Amma and Rama. You can meet Rama and Harish in order to purchase the book. Now I call upon our authors, Srimati Vijaya and Srimati Padma, to finally share the stories that we have all been waiting for. Thank you.
It's such a delight, to be here with all of you today with the blessings of Swamiji. It is because of him that we have such a lovely place. And we are very, very grateful and honored. People who have sponsored our event. The word Tambram. 13 years ago, when my son Tarang got married to a lovely girl, Premanjali, from a Rajput community, her parents, Dr. Singh and Manju Singh, served a fabulous Tambram lunch. And her friends were enamored and they said, "Oh, what a meal, a tambram dish meal." And I was stunned. I said, "What is this tambram?" I'd never heard of this word tambram. And that was the first time that I discovered tambram is a short form for Tamil Brahmins. And the word stuck to me and stayed on my back burner. Till today, Padma and I have come out with a book where we have included the word Tamram in our title. Our book is dedicated to our mothers in law, who are sisters, Srimati Vengadammal and Srimati Nagamma. They've come from the Bhavani Aji family. My mother in law lived to a ripe old age of around 98, but unfortunately, her sister passed away during childbirth at a very, very tender age. My house, with my mother-in-law, was full of people. Everybody would come, enjoy a meal, and there would be so much of sharing and caring going on. Every dish in this book is a sensory journey, going through the temple towns of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Melkote, Kanchi, Srirangapatnam, Madurai, and of course, and Kanyakumari. And also, it is full of memories of the ancient kitchens of our grandmothers and great grandmothers, and festivals of yore like Ane Pandigai, Cheradu, Sankranti, and Ugadi. Padma, when I started writing, I kept it, for a long time without writing. And then I reconnected with my co-sister Padma. And she ordered me, she said, "Vijaya, let's write a book." So I said, "Yes, ma'am, we will." And that is how our book came into being. And Padma is a fabulous cook. And without her, this book would have been simply
Thank you.
impossible. Impossible.
No. Even with Vijaya, it wouldn't have been Even with Vijaya, it wouldn't have been possible to come out with this book. And I thank all the contributors whom I have troubled so much to give the recipes. Every day I used to call them and tell them, please give the recipe, please give. And they were so good. I'm really very happy with all the contributors. And I once again thank all the contributors who have given the recipes.
Our salutes.
I salutes to the contributors.
Yes, our salutes to the contributors who spanned various geographies and generations. We have with us MKP and Angar Auntie, a 98-year-old culinary matriarch.
Yes. And she was the one who gave the recipe Akkara Varshal. And she told us that this is in Srivaliputtur, where Andar's birth, you do that dish, particular dish.
Yes,
it's a very traditional dish.
Yes, it's a very ancient dish. The other day, I was stunned to see Auntie, looking at the newspaper and jotting down points, for future reference. Just imagine a 98-year-old lady, jotting down for using for coming years. And her health, her dexterity, her physical and mental agility is the proof of the Tam Bram cooking cuisine which she has been eating for the last 9 decades. Now, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. In today's world, food trends are changing faster than filter coffee getting cold. Yet, the Tambrams, for hundreds of years, have maintained the basics of the traditional cooking, and it has been passed down from generation to generation. So, our book today is targeted to millennial parents, Gen Alpha and Gen Z, because they are the ones who will take our traditions, culinary tradition forward, and the ancient wisdom which has been passed down from generation to generation. Thank you very much, and please enjoy your meal and your snacks after, and the books are available. And 3 cheers to good food, good company, and enjoy yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I thank all the guests and all the contributors. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Enjoy your. Thank you.
A very warm, thank you to all the chief guests for gracing this occasion and making it a success. I call upon the authors to kindly felicitate all our chief guests today. Thank you. Please give a big round of applause. Mrs. Ramdare, thank you. Srimati Yashoda, thank you. Now I request all the chief guests to kindly go. Oh. We'll now proceed to a Q&A session. I'm sure many amongst us are curious about different aspects of the book. Now's your chance. We are opening the floor for any questions to anybody, the authors, uh, the dignitaries, anybody associated with the book. Anyone?
We have some of the youngsters. Yes, please hand over the mic.
I want to know whether these old recipes made with the traditional method, can we adopt them to the modern gadgets we have in our kitchen?
That's a fantastic question. I think I always wonder if the mixi tohel has the same taste as the ammi tohel. How do you adapt it? Uh, I think like Italians, you can use the pestle and mortar a little bit more. நம்ம என்ன pasta பண்றதெல்லாம் பண்றோமே. So why not with the tohels? I do have an ammi in my kitchen. Maybe I should use it. Thank you for that inspiration.
I think even our non-stick, I think it has been vilified so much. All of you are aware that non-stick many of us don't use. But there are many people who ask me what you use instead of that. So we are all of us turning back to iron and stone. I have a stone vessel where I make my paniyaram. I have I have gone back and bought those. I have taken out from my sheer from when I was married 52 years ago. I have taken out all those patrams now and I'm using those. So I think there is iya chomba where we used to make rasam. You know, all those kind of things I think many of us have gone back to, and it takes a little modification here and there. We have to be very sensitive to the fact that EM will definitely melt. So all these things we have to know, and if you pick up the EM with a kidki, it's definitely going to break if it's very hot. So all these things we have to know, and we have to be a little more cognizant of that. Urlis, I think many of you must be having at home. So all these things are coming back in a big way. I think the main thing is to, what shall I say, make sure that they are there and they are seen as being used by by your daughter-in-law, by your children. I think that is important to make sure that it is seen by everyone. I think whenever your friends ask you, do you use this or that, I think you should be open about it and share with them. I think many of them will benefit, and I think it's a good thing altogether. Your விறகடுப்புல எப்படி பண்ணுவாளோ அந்த மாதிரி that same இது ஸ்வாத் இருக்காது, I know, but then it is also something that we have to come to terms with.
So this is with regard to this the present age of fast food and convenience which dominate these days. You know, the Swiggy, Zomato, all these things. How does your book promote like slow and mindful eating, and what is the cultural ethos behind this, and how we can bridge this gap? So may I request someone to answer me that? Thank you.
Thank you. Our book, is about ecology, sustainability, biodiversity, and conservation. If you see, our recipes are time tested. There's nothing new about them. They have come down for generations, especially which MKP Iyengar auntie, she's wrote a very, very ancient recipe mentioned in Sangam literature. So these recipes are, passed down. There's nothing original about it, but the way they have been told is like oral history documented. So that is the basic of sustainability, how it has survived. And that is the ethos of our book. Thank you.
Hello. Firstly, congratulations on the book. I am very excited to read it. However, the question I have for you is, what advice would you give for young authors who would like to document our culture and our heritage and traditions through food or otherwise?
I would say now the opportunities to document are incredible, and you're very lucky because there is you can start a blog for sure. You can do a YouTube channel. You can do it on Instagram. You can do the same content in various sizes and different channels. I think the only thing you need to think about is what is the thematic element of your channel, because that's the way to differentiate. And Mr. Ramdurai will know this from the corporate world. So it is not enough to just say tambram cooking. It is, you have to say something much more specific than that. That will help you. So I would say start with a very detailed and a very specific tonality, and then the world becomes your, not oyster, namalla vegetarian, world becomes your kuipaniyayam.
Thank you.
Namaskara. Do you think there is any ingredient in the book which is most overlooked today?
Agati kirai, but
There are several, forgotten foods. They, yeah, yeah, pirandai. We have pirandai chutney. Pirandai is also known, it looks like the bone. It's called hard jod in Hindi, and it's extremely good for calcium and arthritis. Besides that, we also have several wild greens like ponnagani. Ponnagani in Tamil means like gold. And when you eat this, your skin will start glowing and your hair will start, will not fall. Today, there's a lot of cases of alopecia. In fact, we had many young millennials, mothers approaching us with modern day melodies, of brittle nails, falling hair, dull skin. See, all these are, can be, what should I say, controlled if you turn to your ancient foods. There are many, many greens, wild tubers like vetiver, and makli bear. It's a Kannada word, makli bear. All these have plenty of antioxidants, plenty of vitamins, and medicinal. If you see, our food is based on Ayurveda and Siddha medicine. So these are, if you go back to your forgotten foods, especially millets, today we are going back. When I ask someone, do you eat millets? नहीं 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 हम लोग खाते नहीं हैं millets. But today, millets are coming back. The revival of all these foods is very important. I think these are the missing ingredients in our food. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Just in continuation of what she has said, Agatti Kirai obviously is not available in Mumbai or any other cities. But if you go to the interiors or maybe borders of Tamil Nadu, they are still selling these different kirais, I mean, leafy vegetables. And every vacation, as a child, I used to go to my grandparents' house. So there they used to come with a basket full of all these agatti kirai, ponnangani kirai, and then Vallara Kira and so many Kirais. So, and I used to, since I was a botany student, I used to be very interested in seeing all those things. And now I have tried tasting all those things and I make my sons also taste it. So that is the only way, as that child, she asked about it, she should try and taste it and then pass on the taste to the younger generations. So it's like that. And just one more point I wanted to add. My mummy had a habit of writing down whatever she did. So I still have those handwritten notes of my mummy. And as my friend, she was telling, why don't you start documenting it? So maybe I'll make an attempt to document those. Thank you.
I have a question for the audience. How many of you have heard of Perendai? I don't even think you get it now. I had planted it, had grown so well in my house, and my gardener came and threw it, saying it's very doesn't look very nice, and it's not useful, so he threw it out. Blambaram. Have you heard of Blambaram? Only one hand is going up for Blambaram. Very few. Okay. So these are some of the things that we don't even use these days. It's a very sad thing. And I think we are indiscriminately cutting trees, and that is also something that we need to correct. Now, more importantly, Vijaya has come to my school, my special school, and taught the children, and we have introduced a lot of dishes also made of millets. I think we have to make sure that children know how to cook it, children know how to eat it from the time when they are very little. Because as we grow up, I think we become fashionably fond of white rice. So these kind of things we have to avoid. And I'm very thankful to Vijaya for coming there and teaching the children. In fact, sometimes when we see a tree and say this is a mango tree, the children are so surprised. Miss, how do you know it's a mango tree?
So in our book, we have several stories, short stories about food, about the trees, about the greens, about the tubers, and about avial. So please read. There are lots of stories for children, and the book targets several generations. And we focus especially on the millennials and their children. Thank you.
So I have a question for the authors. So now you've come this far, you've done this wonderful thing of trying to revive tradition through food, as Shobha rightly pointed out, and as Mala ma'am also pointed out. So what's next on the table?
Next on the table is we want to come out with a book. We want to come out with a book, Cook Without Fire for Children. That's our plan in future. Myself and Vijaya are planning with that. And also we want to make a national book on different castes and communities. A book on India. That is all the east, north, south, west. We are planning on that, but let us see how far it goes. With the help of everybody, contributors, I think we'll be planning that next.
Yeah, just a quick question to the. Y'all are so busy in your life, and you probably travel to different countries. I'm very curious about how much of this cuisine do you really get to cook or to eat in your day-to-day life, or to introduce to your children, and so on and so forth.
Here I defer to disagree because I'm a cook who cooks early in the morning at 6 o'clock, whichever country I am in, and I see that all of them get good food and timely food. So I don't think it is difficult to cook. If you have a will and a power, you can make it.
My question is actually for both the authors. You have brilliantly come together, worked on a book, and the book has materialized so well. We always have differences of opinion. And I'm sure while working on this book, how it should be shaped, etc., you would have had differences of opinion. Somebody had asked for children who want to author books, how do they do it? My question is, how do they collaborate with others and learn from your experiences?
Today's world, collaboration is the key. Flexibility and collaboration. These, I think, are management strategies. So, in fact, in our book, we have over 150 different people who have collaborated. And in my millets book, which has been published by the Indian Women Scientists Association, we have 250 people who have contributed. It's tough. Believe me, it's tough. So you have to practice what you call tough love. That is very important. You have to tell people, give them a template, say what you want. But in this particular book, we try to maintain the originality of the recipes because we have an age group from 98 to 3 years old. So we have to have a lot of leeway. I think collaboration requires a lot of flexibility and lot of management. Okay? I think that is what we did, Padma and I. And Padma is a fabulous cook, so we had no problem at all. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. This can be answered by the authors or anyone. I'm pretty sure all of you are grandparents by now and you have Gen Z, Gen Alpha, or probably the different generation altogether who are more into Korean pop culture, the food which is sold by them. How do you think your book inspires them to bring back them into the Indian culture? I will not even go into the community for now. How do you think they'll get back to the Indian culture?
I think culture is a very loaded word. First of all, we have to start making sure that the children speak at least one of our Indian languages. Because along with the language, a lot of the stuff is thrown. Because if you say payasam and if you say kheer, they are two different things actually. The way they are made, the way they taste, all are different. Like akara odisal and chakra pongal. They may look for you to be the same, but they are very, very different. The process is also different. So, along with the words, we throw away a lot of our culture. So, I think that is one thing that we need to. I've seen many grandparents also with great difficulty trying to speak English to their children. It's really not necessary. I think we have to make sure children learn, understand, and if possible, speak our languages. That is very, very important.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shobha Narayan, Mr. Ramdurai, Mala, and Yashoda for being here and encouraging all of us and talking about the intricacies of Tambram cuisine. Thank you.
I call upon Apurva, who is a Veena player, a mom of 2 kids, to please convey the vote of thanks.
Once again, good evening, everyone. It's been an evening filled with purpose and inspiration, and it's my humble honor to offer the vote of thanks on behalf of the entire team behind this unique initiative. First of all, I'd like to thank and offer our deepest pranams to Sri Sri Yatiraj Yaduguri Narayana Ramanuja Jiyer for his divine blessings for this to proceed today. A heartfelt thanks to you, to Srimati Shobha Narayan, our guest of honor, for your insightful and encouraging words. Your support means a great deal to all of us, especially the younger generation, and we hope to inspire. We are truly privileged by the presence of Srimati and Sri Ramadurai, whose goodwill has added so much value to this initiative. Thank you both for being a part of this special day. Our sincere thanks to Srimati Vedavalli Iyengar, to Mrs. Harsha Ashok Hinduja, Mrs. Vatsala Narayan, Mrs. Yashoda Krishnaswamy, Dr. Geeta Balakrishnan, Mr. Raghunath, Hema Madhu, Pashal family and the caterers for their support today. A special mention to MK Ramya. Thank you for your silent yet strong support in many preparations leading up to this today. To the brilliant authors, Ms. Vijaya Chakravarthy and MG Padma Mami, thank you for conceptualizing, editing and bringing this vision to life with so much dedication and heart. To Dr. Jayashree Venkatesh, our ever-reliable consultant, thank you for guiding us with clarity and warmth. To Priya, our nutrition consultant, your expertise added both credibility and depth to this book. Our deepest thanks to the team of illustrators led by General Rajiv Chowdhury, retired. Your creative inputs brought every page alive with charm and accessibility, especially, I think, for the children out here. To the talented recipe contributors from across the globe, thank you generously for sharing your culinary gems and being part of this global kitchen of creativity. A big thank you to KGS Publishers, to our printers for the impeccable production of this beautiful book. And last but not the least, a special mention to Ms. Rashmi Bharadwaj. Thank you for your wonderful comparing. Your warmth truly set the tone for the evening. Also, sincere thanks to the office bearers and staff of Yatiraj Mutt for their cooperation and support. Lastly, to the parents of all the young contributors, thank you for encouraging your children to explore the joy of cooking and tradition. Thank you very much. Shubharatri.
Refreshments will be served in 10 minutes.
So refreshments will be served in 10 minutes. Kindly wait and have some of them and leave. Thank you.
I would like to add a special thanks to Rashmi and Apurva. They are the people who made this event happen. So thank you very much. May I have your attention, please? Refreshments will be served at the basement. please have refreshments and then leave. I request all the guests, participants, to please have refreshments at the basement.